Hello everyone, this is Telenissa and I'm here to bring you another WeakAura video, this time over the DK, more specifically the Frost spec. If you guys like the video and the WeakAura to come, please remember to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already and would like to see more WeakAura related content in the future. Okay, so here we go. So the interesting thing about the Frost Death Knight, that I had come across, well, Death Knights in general really, is that the WeakAura itself is not that difficult. It's actually much like the Fury Warrior in the fact that many of the talents are passives, and that makes pruning a lot of the extraneous abilities is much easier. And so for the Frost Death Knight, the majority of the time figuring out how to set this up was in the form of the runes. So each of the runes in WeakAuras has to be individually created, so one for each of the 6 runes, and then you also have to create each of those runes for one for a cooldown as well as one for when they're active. So setting that all up and figuring out how it works took the most time, but hopefully with this knowledge I'll be able to better provide the other DK WeakAuras in the future if there is enough demand for them. So for the Frost Death Knight, again, very simple spec, and a lot of the talents are passive, so that made this WeakAura in itself very much more bare, but again setting up something very nice for you. So for on the left we have our Breath of Sindragosa. So if you have the Breath of Sindragosa build, which a lot of Frost Death Knights do, then it will show when you have the buff on you and keep that up as much as possible. And why the centerpiece of this is of course always the runic power bar as well as the runes that you have available to you. Next to that, we have our level 90 talent in Frost Scythe, so when you have the Frost Scythe ready to use and have enough runes for it. Just below the left on Breath of Sindragosa, if you don't have it, or if you don't have it up, you don't want to have that empty space, then it will show the Frost Fever debuff on whomever you're targeting. Next to that, we have our Obliterate. So Obliterate if you have enough runes when it's available, as well as when you proc it from, I believe, Killing Machine? Yes. So next to that, we have our Howling Blast, so a very fantastic AoE. And again, it will show when it's available, when it's on cooldown, when you don't have enough runes, as well as when it is procced from Rhyme. Next to that, we have our Remorseless Winter. So again, all the various cooldowns and such, and then the buff when you have it on you will show on above it. Next to that, we have our 2 cooldowns in Pillar of Frost and Empowered Rune Weapon, so very important to keep track of. And then lastly, we have our artifact ability in Sindragosa's Fury, so AoE, very long cooldown, 5 minutes I believe. So to the right of that, we have our CC, I suppose, in Blinding Sheet or Sleet, and it won't show if you do not have the ability selected, but again, this will only show when it's on cooldown, so it's not too often in your face all the time. Next to that, we have our defensives in Icebound Fortitude and Anti-Magic Shell, so when you have those up and running, it will show how long they are on you. If you have both of them on at the same time, the Icebound Fortitude will show on top of the Anti-Magic Shell. Next to that, again, we have our 1 talent tree with all actives in Obliterations, Breath of Sindragosa, and Glacial Advance. So those will all show up right here, and they will switch when you have each of them selected. Next to that, we have our 2 defensives, so when they're available as well as their cooldown. So very important things to keep track of, I suppose. And then lastly, we have our Death Grip, so very good utility in a lot of situations. And that is it for the Frost Knight, Death Knight WeakAura. So let's get a little bit of an example showing, just to see how it all works. So Death Knight, Death Grip right there. This is empty just because I don't have the artifact weapon. Then with the runes, you can see that They are on cooldown when they're recharging and all that good stuff. You have the debuff from Frost Fever. Then when you use a debuff, or defensive rather, and then you have Pillar of Frost is active, and then your Runic Power on the bottom. So very simple, but hopefully gets across what you need to understand or need to see, and hopefully you guys enjoy. If you do, please remember again to give the video a thumbs up, and please subscribe. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave them in the comment section down below. In the description, I'll link the WeakAura Pastebin, and please check out my Twitch channel as well, and hopefully I will see you guys in the future. Bye. Yeah. There we go.